My name is Saada. I am Nigerian, born and raised in Nigeria. I moved away from Nigeria about over a decade and a half ago, and ever since then I lived in South Korea, Abu Dhabi, Houston, Texas, now Canada, and some cities in between, like even in one country will be in several cities. I have 4 children. I host multicultural events, especially targeted at children to promote diversity, inclusion, practically self-love. It started when my daughter was bullied, racially bullied. Someone said something really nasty to her and it took a toll on her. So I thought, well, they have no idea. Kids do not know hate, right? It is learned, it is taught by someone, and I say, okay. So at first it started by me being very angry. I was this angry mom, like how could, this happen? And I came to realize that anger is not going to help. It's not going to solve the problem. So why don't you educate people? Then we started educating people. We started doing events centered at building confidence in young kids, making them have self-love. The way you are, you're beautiful, you're perfect just the way you are. And the way I target the young audience is I ask them, in most of my events, I'll say, imagine, look at this room, right? This is a room full of kids. And I say, imagine if we all look the same. And you're like, that would be boring. Exactly. And that's what diversity is. That's the beauty of it. So next time you see someone who looks different or who behaves differently or whatever sort of differences, it is not a disadvantage to them. And it doesn't make you any superior or whatever. It just means they are who they are and you are who you are. And I have had a lot of Newfoundlanders say, oh, we don't have culture. I'm like, you have culture. From St. John's, move to Stephenville, you would find that you're very different from them. If you're from Newfoundland, move to, say, Toronto, you would stand out. So there's no point to target anybody because they're different, because we are all different in our own ways. And I believe that if we target the young audience and we tell the younger demographic, you are beautiful just the way you are. You are okay. You don't have to fit in. You can stand out. In fact, it's a good thing. Stand out. Be you. Then I feel like hopefully in the future, we don't have to there will be no need to promote diversity and inclusion because the kids are raised that way. Belonging is finding my space, is being welcomed. And my dad would say, there's no self-pity here. If there's no seat for you at the table, you build your own table. So belonging is and I do find a sense of belonging here, especially in Newfoundland. Everyone is so friendly and everyone is so welcoming. But I find there is fault in that because sometimes there's a bit of hypocrisy. But yeah, sometimes people just accept you topically. It's just on the surface. They don't get to know you. And I do not blame them 100%. But one thing that I find similar about Newfoundland and is my Korean home, because in Korea I lived in a small city. It was a shipbuilding city, so it's small. The vibe is kind of the same, and people are very friendly in small cities. They're very welcoming. I find that here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And but besides that, Nigeria and Newfoundland and Labrador vibe is like polar opposites. When I say get to know people, I'm not talking about just making friends and say, oh, I have 10 friends or 100 friends. No, I'm talking about people who genuinely know you, your flaws and all the roughness and rough edges, and they still accept you and they're friends with you and they know every bit of you.